dealers are practically giving away these superbikes. Smash that like button and subscribe before we get started. Number 15. Yamaha YZF R6. The Yamaha YZF R6 was once the undisputed king of the 600cc class. When it first hit the scene in 1999, it was a revolution. The first production 600cc sport bike to push past 100 horsepower. With an aggressive chassis designed for the racetrack, riders loved it. It screamed at 16,000 RPM, handled like a dream, and became a staple in super sport racing. But here's where things went south. 600cc sport bikes started losing popularity thanks to stricter emission laws and the rise of high-powered naked bikes that were easier to ride. In 2020, Yamaha pulled the plug on the street version of the R6, making it a track-only machine. That means dealers have been sitting on leftover stock, and if you know where to look, you can grab one for a serious discount. Number 14. Honda CBR600RR. Speaking of 600cc bikes, the Honda CBR600RR was another icon that met an untimely end. It had everything: razor-sharp handling, a smooth power band, and Honda's legendary reliability. Track riders adored it, and it held its own against the Yamaha R6 for years. So, why did it vanish? Emission laws hit hard, and Honda didn't want to invest in updating it for stricter regulations in Europe. In 2017, it disappeared from European showrooms, and while Honda still sells a new version in limited markets, the CBR600RR has become a rare sight. But the good news? You can still find used models sitting in dealerships, waiting for the right buyer. Number 13. KTM 1190 RC8R. KTM's 1190 RC8R was an absolute weapon on the streets. A 1,195cc V-twin powerhouse with 173 horsepower and a chassis so sharp it felt like a race bike. It was the Austrian brand's attempt to take on Ducati and Aprilia in the superbike wars. And let's be real, it looked like it came straight out of a sci-fi movie. But here's the problem: KTM never fully committed to developing it further, with brands like BMW and Ducati refining their superbikes every few years. The RC8R started feeling outdated. In 2015, KTM announced it would stop making superbikes for the road altogether, shifting its focus to track bikes and naked street fighters. If you can find one, it's a rare gem and usually way cheaper than the competition. Number 12. Ducati 848 Evo. Ducati has always been known for its high-performance machines, but the 848 Evo was something special. It had the soul of a Ducati superbike, but with a more approachable power delivery. The 140 horsepower L-twin engine combined with Ducati's signature trellis frame made it a favorite among sport bike enthusiasts. So, what happened? Ducati introduced the 899 Panigale, which had a more modern design and electronics package. The 848 Evo quietly disappeared, and as time passed, many forgot about it. But here's the thing, it still holds up today, and you can pick one up for a fraction of what you'd pay for a newer Ducati. Number 11. MV Agusta F4 1000. MV Agusta's F4 1000 wasn't just fast, it was a masterpiece. Designed by Massimo Tamburini, the same genius behind the Ducati 916. This bike was dripping with Italian craftsmanship, with a 998cc inline-4 pumping out 200 horsepower. It had the performance to match its jaw-dropping looks. So, why didn't it sell? MV Agusta's pricing was out of reach for most riders, and reliability concerns hurt its reputation. In 2018, the F4 1000 was officially discontinued, and MV Agusta shifted focus to smaller bikes. But if you want to own one of the most beautiful superbikes ever made, now's your chance to grab one at a bargain. Number 10. Buell 1125R. The Buell 1125R was a bold move from Harley Davidson's sport bike division. Instead of a traditional V-twin, it had a Rotax-built 1,125cc engine, liquid cooling, and futuristic styling. It was fast, agile, and truly different from anything else on the market. But Harley pulled the plug on Buell in 2009, leaving the 1125R with no future. Even though it was a fantastic bike, it suffered from a lack of brand support. Today, you can find them dirt cheap, and if you're willing to take a chance, you'll get a unique and capable superbike. Number 9. Kawasaki ZX-12R. Before the ZX-14R and H2, Kawasaki had the ZX-12R, a superbike built to go toe-to-toe with the Hayabusa. It was one of the fastest bikes on the planet, easily hitting 186 miles per hour with its 178 horsepower inline 4. But it never quite captured the cult following that the Hayabusa did. When the ZX-14R debuted in 2006, the ZX-12R was quietly retired. However, it still delivers insane speeds for the money, and you can find them at incredibly low prices compared to newer hypersport bikes. Number 8. Truimph Daytona 955i. The Truimph Daytona 955i was a rare beast, a superbike with a 3-cylinder engine. Instead of an inline 4 like the competition, it had a 955cc triple, delivering a distinctive sound and smooth power band. Sadly, the 955i never sold as well as Truimph hoped, and by the mid-2000s it was replaced by the smaller Daytona 675. But for those who want a superbike that stands out from the crowd, the 955i is a hidden treasure. Number 7. Aprilia RSV4 RF. Aprilia's RSV4 RF was built for one thing: dominating the racetrack. With 201 horsepower coming from its 1078cc V4 engine, it had power, precision, and an exotic Italian feel that made it a dream bike for hardcore riders. It came with top-tier Öhlins suspension, lightweight forged wheels, and a razor-sharp chassis, making it one of the best-handling superbikes ever made. So, why couldn't dealers sell it? Aprilia's high pricing and limited dealership network hurt its reach, especially in markets where brands like Yamaha and Ducati already had strong fan bases. By 2021, Aprilia phased out the RF model, replacing it with the newer RSV4 factory. The good news? If you can find an RSV4 RF sitting at a dealership, it's often way cheaper than a brand new RSV4 factory, making it an absolute bargain. Number 6. Suzuki GSX-R750. The Suzuki GSX-R750 had one of the longest production runs of any superbike, first launching in 1985. For years, it offered the perfect balance: more power than a 600cc bike, but lighter and more agile than a liter bike. The 150 horsepower inline-4 engine was smooth and punchy, and its legendary handling made it a favorite for riders who wanted a track-capable machine without the intimidation of a 1000cc beast. But here's the problem: the 750cc class has been dying for years, with most riders either going for cheaper 600cc sport bikes or straight for 1000cc monsters. The GSX R750 became a niche product. In 2023, Suzuki announced that the GSX R750 was being discontinued in several markets, and dealers are struggling to sell leftover stock. If you want a legendary middleweight superbike at a discount, now's your chance. Number 5. Yamaha FJR1300. Not every high-performance motorcycle is a superbike. Some are built for high-speed touring. That's exactly what the Yamaha FJR1300 was designed for, featuring a 1298cc inline-4 engine, smooth power delivery, and excellent comfort for long rides. It was a favorite for riders who wanted sport bike power with all-day touring capability. So, why is it on this list? Big sport touring bikes have fallen out of favor as adventure bikes like the BMW GS Series and Ducati Multistrada have taken over. Yamaha decided to discontinue the FJR1300 in 2021, leaving dealerships with leftover models. If you're looking for a powerful sport tourer without paying full price, the FJR1300 is an incredible deal. Number 4. Yamaha Super Tenere 1200. Adventure bikes are all the rage right now, but not every model gets the love it deserves. The Yamaha XT1200Z Super Tenere was Yamaha's answer to the BMW R1250 GS. Featuring a 1199cc parallel twin, a rugged shaft drive system, and excellent off-road capability. But here's the issue: it never had the cult following of the BMW GS series. Despite being an incredible adventure bike, it struggled in sales and was officially discontinued in 2021. That means there are still brand new Super Teneres sitting in dealerships, often with huge markdowns. If you want a bulletproof adventure bike that won't cost GS money, this is the one. Number 3. Harley Davidson XR1200. Harley Davidson has always been known for big cruisers, but in 2008 they tried something different: the XR1200. Inspired by Harley's legendary flat-track racers, the XR1200 had a powerful 1200cc V-twin, upgraded suspension, and a sporty riding position. It was supposed to be Harley's answer to bikes like the Ducati Monster and Triumph Street Triple. So why didn't it sell? Harley riders weren't interested in a sportier bike, and non-Harley riders still saw it as a cruiser. By 2013, Harley gave up and discontinued the XR1200, making it one of the rarest modern Harleys out there. Today, dealers with unsold units are offering massive discounts. Number 2. Honda CBR 1100XX Super Blackbird. Back in the late 90s, Honda wanted to build the fastest motorcycle in the world. The result? The CBR 1100XX Super Blackbird, a 1,137cc inline-4 superbike capable of hitting 186 miles per hour. It was so fast that it briefly held the title of the world's fastest production bike, before being dethroned by the Suzuki Hayabusa. So, why isn't it around anymore? Honda never gave it a proper update. By the mid-2000s, the market moved towards bikes like the Kawasaki ZX-14R, and the Blackbird quietly disappeared. But if you can find one, it's still one of the best sport touring bikes ever made, and it's going for way less than you'd expect. Number 1. Kawasaki ZX-14R. And finally, the number 1 superbike that dealers can't sell, the Kawasaki ZX-14R. When Kawasaki introduced this beast in 2006, it was designed to crush the Hayabusa. With a 1,441cc inline-4 making nearly 200 horsepower. The ZX-14R was one of the fastest motorcycles ever built, capable of hitting 186 miles per hour in a matter of seconds. So, what happened? The ZX-14R never quite matched the Hayabusa's cult following, and as sport bike sales declined, so did its appeal. In 2022, Kawasaki pulled the plug, leaving plenty of brand new ZX-14Rs sitting in dealerships. If you want a high-speed monster for less than a new leader bike, this is your chance. Which of these bikes would you take home? Drop your pick in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future motorcycle content. Ride safe, and we'll see you in the next one.